So in lesson 7.1, ratios and proportions, you've seen this before, so that should be comforting to kind of see ratios and proportions again and kind of be review. So we can write it a couple different ways, A to B, or A with A colon B, or A over B, but B can't be 0 because we can't divide by 0. So let's take a look at this first one, writing ratios. The number of students who participate in sports programs at Central High School is 520. The total number of students in the school is 1,850. The athlete to student ratio to the nearest tenth. So we take our athletes to, so division, to students total, and then we can go ahead and write it as, if we reduce it, 52 to 185, which we can then reduce to 1 to 3.56, or we can go ahead and do 1 to 3.6 as the nearest tenth, so kind of reducing it as we go there. The ratio of side lengths of a triangle is 4 to 7 to 5. And it is the perimeter is 96. So what is the length of the shortest side? So we could have 4x plus 7x plus 5x because we don't know the exact lengths, but we know it has that ratio, is going to equal 96. So equals 96. And then we can figure out what each of them is. So 16x is equal to 96, which means x is 6. So our shortest side is the 4x, so 4 times 6, it means that the shortest side is 24 centimeters. So if you want to try this next one, you can go ahead and try it. The total, think about the total of a triangle, what all its angles add up to, and kind of do what we did here. So 5x, 12x, 13x, the sum equals 180, and solve. So when we do our 5x plus 12x plus 13x equals 180, we get 30x equals 180, which means x is 6. So plugging 6 back in, 5 times 6, one angle is 30, the other is 72, and then the last one is 78. So here we have our proportion. A and D are called the extremes, and then B and C are called the means. So in a proportion, the product of the extremes equals the product of the means. So a lot of times you'll see people either call it cross multiplication or maybe the butterfly method, so something to that effect of where we multiply cross products and set them equal. So we're going to take and multiply 7 times 72 and 56 times y. So 56y is equal to 7 times 72, which is 504. And then we're going to divide by 56. So y equals 9. So if you want to try the next one on your own, go for it, but be very careful because it's 6 times the entire quantity, 4x minus 5. So we have parentheses, which means we have to do some distributing. So try that and then check when you're ready. All right, so distributing here, 24x minus 30 equals, and then multiply negative 78. Then we're going to add 30 to both sides, then divide by 24 to get x is negative 2. So here we're given that 18c is equal to 24d. Find the ratio of d to c in its simplest form. So we're going to go ahead and divide by c to get our d to c here. So this is going to be 18 is equal to 24d over c. And then we can go ahead and undo our multiplication of 24 by dividing by 24. And so then we wind up with our 18 over 24, which we can go ahead and reduce. So D to C is actually going to be equal to, we can take out a 6 from each of those, and 18 divided by 6 would be 3, 24 divided by 6 would be 4. So our D to C ratio is 3 to 4. Right, Monique randomly surveyed 30 students from her class and found that 18 had a dog or a cat for a pet, but there's 870 students in Monique's school. Predict the total number of students with dogs or cats. So it looks like 18 to 30 is kind of our ratio that we're looking at. So part to whole, 18 kind of out of 30 just for her class. And we're going to try and get it to be, well, what number out of our total 870? So we can go ahead and solve for P by using kind of our cross product method here. So 30P is going to equal 18 times 870, and 30P then is going to equal 15,660 dividing by 30. P would equal 522. So about 522 students have a dog or a cat in the school, if we use that same ratio there. So here again, AD is going to equal BC, BC is going to equal AD, AD, BC, kind of our cross products there for equivalent proportions.